Today I'm going to give you a little fall inspiration. I am at our Spot to Pot here at Garden Crossings, and today what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make up a couple different fall arrangements. These would be considered porch pots, but certainly this is something you could do with hanging baskets as well. I know many of us, maybe our annuals are still holding on a little bit. Here in Michigan, we finally got cold enough that the annuals are finished for the season. So it's time to do a little fall transformation if you haven't started already. Before I begin though, if you are local to our garden center here in Zeeland, Michigan, I do invite you to stop out to the garden center and utilize our Spot to Pot. Basically, this is an area where you can plant up hanging baskets, containers, whatever you want. This is open whenever we're open, so spring, summer, fall. And you know, how often do you get home and it feels messy to be digging in the dirt and playing with your pots? Well, this area here is something great that you can just leave the mess here with us and not have to worry about the soil at home. So let's go ahead and start digging in the dirt. So I did two different pots here that we're going to do today. I have more of a simple combination and then another one that's just a little bit more, I don't know, more colorful, more different varieties going on. So let's go ahead and start with a simple combination. So basically what I took is we have some flowering Swiss chard here. This is the Bright Lights Swiss chard, and you can see it's got beautiful stems on it that gives this plant some color, and then that color transitions in here to the foliage as well. And we're going to go ahead and use this as our thriller in this combination. No, you don't need to have a thriller, but when I plant, I always like to have something that gives the pot a little upright interest. So I'm going to go ahead, and I did pre-fill these pots with fresh potting soil. It's always important that when you are planting that you use fresh potting soil, because that potting soil from the summer, if you wanted to plant into that, there's just no nutrients left in that soil. So it's always nice to start fresh. And again, even in the fall, it's nice to give these plants a little bit of fertilizer just to get them to go through a month or two, depending on how long your season is. So let's go ahead, put this in the back, and that we're going to use as our thriller. Next, I picked a couple of our garden mums that are about at the halfway point. A lot of buds, but a lot of blooms as well, because I wanted this pot to have some color now and color for the next couple weeks or so. So our mums are at various stages from full bloom to just coming into bud. So depending on what you're looking for, we've got all the different variations of the stages of the garden mums. This one here, I should probably tell you what color because somebody's going to ask. This is the Flamingo Cranberry Red. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one kind of off to the side. We're going to use a total of 4 plants in this combination. Next, and this is a super popular mum, this one here is called Key Lime, and it's got just that nice kind of a greenish, yellowish chartreuse coloration. And the reason I chose this is because it's really going to create a nice pop of color in the front of this combination. Set that there, and then we're doing another one of the Flamingo Cranberry Red. So again, this is a very simple combination, not a lot going on, but just creates kind of some nice color and consistency. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the gaps because I didn't have enough soil in here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in here around these plants. One nice thing about planting containers in the fall is they don't need as much water or as much maintenance as what your summer planters do. So you're going to water them a couple times a week depending on, you know, how warm it is and where you live. For us in Michigan, we can get by with probably 2, maybe 3 days a week giving these guys some water. Now I do have to be careful because I know a lot of my viewers are all over the country. So if you're watching from California, Texas, something like that, please take your zone and your conditions into mind with how often you may need to water your planters. So with the garden mums here in Michigan, we do sell them as annuals. although they may act as perennials in many of your areas. One thing with garden mums that I think people don't understand is if you were to plant your garden mums in this planter like we just did, let them get fully bloomed out, flowered out, and then go to take them and transplant them into your landscape, there's not a very good chance that at that point that they're going to come back the next season. And the reason is usually at that point it's colder, these plants have used up all of their energy into putting flowers on, and there's just not a lot of root growth that's going to happen there later on in the season once these plants are flowered out. That's true for us here in Michigan. Now, if you were to take a mum that's more at this stage, plant it directly into the ground now, or even a little bit earlier for us in Michigan would have been a little bit more prime. But this pot here, this plant here would have a much better chance of overwintering. Just because all the energy hasn't gone into the flowers yet, it could still be putting on some root growth. So this plant would have a much better chance of overwintering than something that's fully bloomed out. But again, we sell them as annuals, but you might get them to come back as perennials, and if you do, that's what we would like to call, you know, a bonus. All right, so we've got this one all filled in. So very simple, simple colors, a simple look, nice design. Perfect for front porch patios. Now we're going to go in and do something that's just a little bit more colorful, a little bit more flowerful, a little just more going on. So for this combination, I kind of walked through the garden center and just picked out different colors and different textures just to give this planter kind of a different mixed look. So the first plant, and this is the one I'm going to be using as my thriller, this is a celosia, and this particular one is Kilo's Fire Red, also known as a coxcomb, and it's got these beautiful bright red torch-like looking flowers, and I think that's going to be a nice thriller for this combination. So I'm going to put that in the back. Now you could put it in the middle or in the back, depends on which way you are looking at your planters. Most of mine will go up against a wall, so I really don't need to have anything going all the way around the pot. So we're going to put that in the back. Next, I grabbed a couple garden mums because, I don't know, nothing says fall more than the garden mums. So this one here is Garden Mum Sundance Yellow, and it's kind of just at that nicely starting stage. Tuck that in there. And then next, I went and grabbed one of our annuals that we had, and this one is called Yellow Zebra. It's a variegated potato vine, and we're going to just poke this in the front of the planter, and I'm going to do a little trimming on it once everything else is planted, but I want to just get this up there to have something that's kind of trailing over and down the front. So we'll set that there. Next, I grab just an orange marigold, and I'm going to kind of tuck that a little bit behind this zebra vine here, kind of in the middle. I don't know about you, but marigolds stink. I guess that's why they say plant them in your garden to keep the bunnies away. And then last, we're going to use this mum, which is the Wanda Purple, and this one's probably about 1/2 to 3/4 blooming, and there's still plenty of buds left. So we're going to go ahead and tuck that kind of off here to the side. So kind of giving us just various textures and colors in this particular planter. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the gaps. Pull up that vine a little bit and get underneath of there. So you can see the mess I'm making, and can you imagine, like if you're doing this at home, you have to clean up after yourself, but doing it here at Garden Crossings, you can just leave the mess with us and we'll take care of it. All right. Got the soil all tucked in. Now, one thing I wasn't sure of was how this vine was going to look. So let me just take a look at it here a second. So it's kind of sticking out right and I'm not really loving that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and trim it back just a little bit, because really I wanted it to trail, but I really did want just this foliage color as well. So this is just a personal preference thing for me. This is not something that you have to do. Now, if it was summertime, this would grow back, but being that it's fall, this plant is gonna probably die before it does any more growth, just because we're gonna get cold here. Yeah, I think that's just a little bit better. Still kind of sticking out there, but I love that variegation, and I like how it's pulling out the yellow there, and looks really nice with everything we've got going. So yeah, so this one's a little bit more colorful, more texture going on. So it just really depends on if you're into something just simple or something with a little bit more going on. Either way, I don't think there's a right or a wrong. And to be honest, maybe you're somebody that just wants one singular garden mum in a pot, and that looks great as well. So no matter what your style, if you're local here and want to stop out to Garden Crossings, our Spot to Pot is open, and we welcome you to bring in your own containers or use one of ours. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 until 5, and Saturday 9 until 3 in the fall. So we welcome you to come on out. We're located in Zeeland, Michigan. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.